I want to say they score! They brings the house down!
And Detroit Tigers baseball.
Fly ball left field, way back in left. Gone! Matt Fearling with a line drive special, sizzling out to left.
Tune in to live coverage of every game on 790 AM and 100.5 FM, and check WSGW.com to see when your team takes the field, ice, or court. WSGW Sports Broadcasting is sponsored in part by Tri-Area Trucking School, Auto House of Linwood, Wood Reviver in Saginaw, and Euclid Avenue Coins. All season, every season, your teams play on 790 AM and 100.5 FM WSGW.
WSGW, along with Star of the West Milling, Michigan Sugar, and American Crystal Sugar Beets, presents the Michigan Fruit prizes with your favorite homemade baked fruit pie. Contestants will be judged at the Saginaw County Fair on Tuesday, July the 30th. Now, you must be present to win. Deadline to submit your pie recipe for consideration is July the 25th. For more information and to enter, visit WSGW.com.
John Baltimore picking the in-between hop. Urshela over to the bag. That's a magic glove over there.
The Tigers play 6:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and we are talking to Danny Vann. Danny, for many years, one of the leading Elvis interpreters in the country, and one of the highlights of any Danny Vann concert was his foray into Elvis's gospel music. He is a man of God and has quite an interesting history, and also has a love of not only God but of country. And that has led you to write or pen a song, a spoken song.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it before we play it.
You know, some of the things that have happened in the last, especially the last 10 years or so, have just been, to me, as a godly person, beyond shocking. You know, so disappointed in some of these things where we have let our morality fall so low that you know, God is not even allowed to be mentioned in a lot of public squares these days. And it was so saddening that you know, I've been praying and contemplating and things like that, and these words just dropped to me. Actually, I wrote this in 2018, and I've been I've been sitting on it for the right time. And it sure seems like right now, with as far as we've fallen in such a short time, that it's a good time to remind the quote unquote silent majority that we have an obligation to speak up. We have an obligation to step up and not allow these things to continue, you know, to not only denigrate, but to continue. I've been encouraged by some of the reversals that have happened. And again, from a personal standpoint, you know, I'm a person, so I have a personal opinion, but also I look at America as a country, and we were formed on Judeo-Christian values, and those have been tossed out the window by a lot of people. Unfortunately, I think we've been a little inundated with liberal media, you know, that probably makes it look worse than it really is. However, it's getting the attention, and a lot of us just kind of I feel lost. I felt lost, and it was like, I need to say something. And so God gave me these words, and I wrote them down.
And let us now turn our attention to those very words.
America, God sheds a tear for you. What have we done, America? Tearing God from the fabric of our youth. Our Our ungodly ways will doom our days. We need to turn again and follow God's truth. America, listen, America. God sheds a tear for you. And only by his hand can our land still stand. We need to return to his ways before we lose. Oh, America, America, this warning is for you. We need to trust in God again, or we'll lose our land. The time is now for us to choose. Yes, we must trust in God again and obey his word before we meet our doom.
Danny Vann, and his, I guess, warning might be a word,
Yeah.
but since "God Bless America" is in the public domain, I think you should have sung it.
Yeah, well, I can do a singing version, so that there's a spoken and a sung one. I originally did it singing, but like I said, some of the reactions I got weren't really
Yeah, that's surprising.
well, here's where they're coming from. It's America the Beautiful has been a staple for so many decades, and to take its original melody and then turn it around and do this to them was a little too shocking, and they thought it was destroying a beautiful melody or whatever.
You could add it as a chorus and verse.
Yes. But that was in fact, you mentioned God Bless America. I also received at the same time I got this, 2 days later, I got new words to God Bless America, but they're even a little more, what's the word I want to say, a little more stringent. Because it basically says God has blessed America and we've turned our back on them. That's what the theme of that one is. So it's a little more.
I've talked about it on the show a lot, because you look at the polls, and we're moving away from organized religion, and then to go further, we're moving away from God in many places.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's not how this country was formed.
That's right. Yep, that's right. In fact, in the video for this, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the video, but
yep.
When I talk about coming back to God's ways, I show a picture of the Supreme Court building with Moses holding the 10 Commandments. So I mean, it's right there in Washington, in the middle of Washington, D.C. as well. There's Moses with the 10 Commandments.
So what, I mean, you've been around the music business a long time. What do you do with something like this?
You expose it, you get it out there in front of people. I've reached out to a few of the, well, first of all, the religious groups, because they would be the ones to me that would carry this message. But I'm sure, with today's media, facade or whatever you want to call it, with their face, I doubt that they're going to carry much about this. Yeah. So I, you reach out to the people that you think can help carry the message, and we lock hands. I think it's time to stand up and make a stand and make a statement.
I think I've asked you this before, but is there ever a day where you can see yourself back on stage? Happen?
I see it in my mind all the time, but physically,
what's the rest of the body say?
Yeah, physically, I have gotten a little bit better singing at home, because I still play my guitar at home. Obviously, I just recorded that this past week, but and I can do maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes sitting down playing guitar with some breaks in between. But I just don't know that I can get up and I couldn't do a show anymore.
Not a show, but could you do a song or two?
Yeah, I could do a song or two. Yeah, I can do a song or two.
But you're not traveling much either, though, are you?
I can't travel, though. Unfortunately, my stamina is so bad that, when my mom passed away in 2018, I had a friend of mine drive me up to Bay City because I'm down in the Metro Detroit area. And that hour and a half drive just flattened me. Even when I got there that day, I got there the day just riding. I got there the day before the funeral, and I had to lay down for 3 hours after we got there to just have enough energy to walk around the house. And then the next day was the funeral, and that took a lot out of me. And we spent another night there, and then he drove me home. And when I got home, it was 2 days before I got my energy back. So,
all right, well, take a deep breath, get your energy back. We'll come back. We'll take a break. We're chatting with Danny Vann, and we will be back with more. If you have any questions or comments for Danny, you can give us a call, 989-752-6111.
Hello, I'm Shep.
And I'm Mark.
And we're the friendly board-certified entomologists from Rose Pest Solutions.
Hey, Shep, I've got a riddle for you.
Hit me.
Why don't anteaters get sick?
I don't know.
Because they're filled with antibodies.
You know, Mark, there are thousands of ant species that can run amok in your home.
To be effective, you've got to keep them straight.
The pros from Rose can correctly identify the ant and solve the problem.
Protect your health and home. Call 800-966-ROSE. Rose will get the best of your best.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Meristem Crop Performance is seeking experienced leading sales professionals in this area. Are you tired of the wasteful practices of corporate America putting a cap on your earnings? Do you excel at working directly with farmers to help them get more bushels for less? Apply now to help farmers adapt new technologies like Revlon Hopper Throttle Excavator and Upshift Seed. Learn more at meristemag.com.
Save big money on your next project at Menards. Check out our huge selection of Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. They make a beautiful addition to any room while reducing energy costs year-round. The 44-inch Carlisle LED ceiling fan is dimmable and has a variety of color temperatures. Save big money on Patriot Lighting ceiling fans at Menards. #1 in customer satisfaction among home improvement retailers according to J.D. Power. For more information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code Horton to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text Horton to 511-511. Text Horton to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Text fees may apply.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/good. or text GOOD to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, you've heard me say that cell phone service with Pure Talk is half the cost of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. $20 a month, you get unlimited talk and text, plenty of data, and you think, okay, Hannity, what's the catch? Well, there isn't one. Just ask the thousands of listeners who have made the switch of mine, and they love Pure Talk and their U.S. customer service, the great coverage on America's most dependable 5G network. Dial pound 250, say the keyword save now to start saving now on your cell phone plan.
If you like a good story about a golf course that was almost given up for dead, but then a community effort rallied around to bring it back to life, you'll love this week's edition of Michigan Golf Live Radio as we broadcast from the newly renovated, rejuvenated Timber Trace in Pinckney. Join us Saturday for that story and more on Michigan Golf Live. Saturday from 1 to 3 on 100.5 and 790 AM News Radio WSGW.
Broadcasting online courtesy Stormmaster Exteriors. And from the Stormmaster Exteriors studios, this is WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're chatting with Danny Vann, and you've heard me mention several times, Danny, that you, of course, were a leading Elvis interpreter for many, many, many years. Something like this. It's not a very good audio sample, but just reminiscent of those days when
yes,
you were on stage doing what you did.
My soul surrendered. Eyes gonna
lifetime.
There he is again, folks. You remember those days fondly, I assume.
Oh yes, it was a lot of fun.
You still have the outfits?
I have one outfit left. A long story. That story's in my book, My Journey in the Shadow of the King, which is still out on Amazon, by the way. But those outfits, the ones that were in most of those concerts, wound up being trashed in a dumpster when I wasn't home.
Really?
Long story there, but it's in the book. Yep. Somebody decided it was time for me to quit, and
well,
yeah.
It's life is nothing if it isn't full of change, I guess.
Aye, and surprises.
Yeah,
but you know what? But you know what? God has really blessed me. Part of my story includes my awesome wife, Lena, that has been with me for 14 years this October. So she went through the heart attack with me and has just been a sweetheart, very supportive, and a decent critique, although it was only 3 years after we got married that I had that heart attack and couldn't perform anymore. But she's been by my side and has really been awesome and embraced my family, and you couldn't ask for more, so.
So what do you do to occupy yourself today? I mean, I can't imagine suffering what you're suffering, because your brain tells you want to go do things,
right?
Your body says sorry,
right? Yep. Yeah. The bottom third of my heart was killed with the attack, so that's really part of what was, and some of that's come back, but not enough. I'm still permanently disabled from that standpoint. But what do I do with my time? I do a lot of studying. Still do Bible study and that type of thing. I do a lot of social media monitoring, in the foster care space. and in the kinship care space, where there's a lot of grandparents that are taking on their grandchildren because of a lot of this chaos, and drugs and other issues that people are having. And so go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Just to ask, is the foster care system broken?
I think like a lot of companies such as Disney and some of these other ones, over the years, it's lost its focus. It's lost its mission. It has become more about money and profits and sustainability than it has about the mission of when it was set up. The father there at Boys Town, who kind of started the movement to help the kids.
His name Flanagan?
Father Flanagan.
Father Flanagan.
His original mission was he had a heart for these children, like the new movie Cabrini, right? Is these are people that had a heart for kids, and their whole goal was to love on these kids who didn't have that love, who didn't have the stability, who didn't have the ability to have a dependable relationship with anybody, because they were being farmed around so much. And so even during the Great Depression, some of the stories go that these kids were sent out west to try and help the orphans go and be adopted by farm families that needed help, right? Well, of course, very quickly that turned into greed. The kids became slave laborers instead of being adopted into loving families who wanted them to become part of the whole thing. It's just human nature, So I don't think foster care is broken. I think there's a lot of good in it. I think there's a lot of people that have good hearts. It's just that it's been overwhelmed. I think the church has for whatever reason stepped away from that and not embraced it like they could. But there is the CAFO, the Christian Alliance for Orphans, and they are coming up, and there are other organizations. So it's like everything else in America. There's areas that are good, there's areas that ain't so good, and it seems like the squeaky wheel gets all the noise, all the attention.
Hang on, my friend, while I take our last break, and we'll be back with Danny Vann.
Look, there goes another one. Another used vehicle with the Wilson Ford Lincoln name on the back. Jim Wilson, you're selling a lot of used cars and trucks.
We're seeing people from all over the state. It's amazing.
Look at these registrations from Frankenmuth, Caro, Flint, Birch Run, Alma, and lots of people from Bay City and Saginaw.
When you can buy this kind of quality vehicle at the prices we offer, it's well worth driving a few extra minutes.
Customers are telling us they've shopped around, sometimes 4 or 5 other dealers.
We consistently beat market prices on the most in-demand vehicles. And with our growing sales volume, we truly need and will pay more for your trade.
This is the Ford Lincoln dealership making headlines with the finest pre-owned vehicles for less, much less. Wilson Ford Lincoln, Bay Road, Saginaw, or wilsonford.com.
Each year, white mold causes millions of dollars in lost soybean yield across the United States. Now, northern U.S. farmers have a new tool to combat this yield-robbing disease. Viatude fungicide from Corteva Agriscience delivers best-in-class protection against white mold. With 2 modes of action, this powerful solution offers preventative and curative activity, providing soybean farmers a new level of in-season white mold defense. Viatude fungicide also promotes more robust plant health for strong stalks and better standability throughout the season, leading to maximum yield potential at harvest. Don't settle for lost soybean bushels anymore. Learn how the superior white mold protection of Viatude fungicide can benefit your acres by contacting your local Corteva Agriscience sales rep or visiting corteva.us/VIATUDE. That's corteva.us/VIATUDE.
I'm pretty conservative. Many of us are here in rural America. And we believe, and I believe, that we have a responsibility to care for not only for our families, but our communities. And this wind project is a great opportunity. It's roads, bridges, schools, things that we need around here. For people who are skeptical, come and see it. It is creating opportunities that we never had before.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll, Biden and Trump after the debate. While President Biden's debate performance is receiving most of the attention, both parties have questions to ponder prior to Election Day. Do Democrats need Biden to step down? Can he win another election? Do Republicans want Biden to step down? Could former President Trump win against a potentially more formidable candidate? The WSGW online poll for you. We try to find something for both Biden and Trump supporters. What best describes your thoughts, whether you support Biden or Trump? You could vote Biden should stay in the race because he'll win, or Biden should step down because he cannot win. You could say Trump needs Biden to stay in the race because he's the only candidate he can beat, or Trump will win against any candidate. Or you could vote I don't care because I don't support either one. Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box to cast your vote.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Back with you, the remaining segment of the first hour, the Art Lawyer Show, talking to Danny Vann. And I did not plan to have that adoption spot in the middle of the break. It just happened.
That was awesome. I'm back here going, yeah.
So let me ask about that, Danny.
Yeah.
Your time in the foster care system, did you ever lose hope?
I didn't lose hope, but it was certainly trying because the 6 of us kids were split up into different foster homes. But I've been the type of person that always, again, turned to God, and He's blessed me, and I've always overcame. So one of the stories out of being in that was that we several of us were in Bay City in different homes. And so at 15 years old, while I'm in foster care, I got a job pushing one of those ice cream carts, Have a Bar ice cream. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Ringing the bells. And I made money that whole summer. My foster parents allowed me to take this job. And I saved my money and bought used bicycles for my siblings so we could ride between the foster homes to see each other. So I'm not a hope giver upper. I'm an overcomer.
So, in today's world, youngster coming up in foster care,
yeah,
better or worse than it was when you were in?
It's never good. I mean, it's always, nobody wins in a divorce or any of those things. It's traumatic. Is it worse? I think there's a lot of benefits that I had no idea existed back then. They have guardian ad litems. They even have attorneys now for these kids that can follow them through the system. And in several states, I have found psychologists and counselors who take the government's payments and will follow the child through the whole system, no matter where they move, because of online and all that. So I think there's some better things now. Problem is bridging the gap and helping those kids know what's available to them, and even trying to help offload the caseworkers and some of the people that are just overloaded. Yeah. But I also want to transition all this and say that together we can do more, right? And that's really the message of this song too, is America. I need a call to action here as we get toward the end of the hour, and let the Christians and or godly people, the spiritual people out there who believe that God's way is a better way, which is why our country was formed. The King's way wasn't the best way back then, and they formed this so that we could get close to God. And so I'm calling all Christians, grab this message and share it. Go out to YouTube. I don't know, Art, if you guys can put this link up or not, but get out there and get a copy of this and pass it around. I have no royalty issues here. I'm not looking for any compensation other than seeing America turn its course a little more and get back to God.
Give everybody the title to look for.
America, God Sheds a Tear for You.
America, God Sheds a Tear for You.
Yes.
And it's available on YouTube?
It is available on YouTube. Danny Vann with 2 N's in both names.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm impressed, and I appreciate you remembering that I've been an Elvis interpreter. I know tribute artist is the big moniker these days, but to me, it was always about, I love Elvis and I love singing his songs, but I reserve the right to do it my way.
Yeah. Well, I was a period of time where I was an Elvis judge, and I had to listen to all those quote tribute artists, and I just kept going back to you as my my benchmark. Yeah, you were really good at it. Well, Danny,
you so much.
I treasure your friendship, and
I do too. I sent you an email, by the way, so go check it out.
Go check it out, and may God continue to bless you, my friend.
He absolutely has, and I'm thrilled about it. And this is my thank you to him, to go out on his behalf and remind people God is still there. Yep. And go read 2 Chronicles 7:14. It's how I end my video. God will hear if you turn and want to get closer to his ways. He'll listen.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good day. Amen. Danny Vann. We will take our last break, come back and close out the hour, tell you what's ahead.
I'm Paul Young, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Build the wall, deport illegals, put America first. That's Paul Young's plan.